Hi guys, Royal Cameraman here. I decided to start this video with quite good news. On Valentine's Day, February 14th, MrBoom shared with the author of the Skibidi toilet news community that in about 9 days, the 25th season will be fully restored. If you don't know, on January 24th, the 25th season was removed from the official YouTube channel MrBoom due to copyright infringement. As it turns out, the strike on this video was thrown by FZCO, which passes off the Skibidi toilet series as its own product. For a long period of time, MrBoom had been dealing with this problem. By the way, this situation served as a factor due to which the release of a new episode is delayed, but the problem is almost solved, which means that the release of the 78th episode, in which will be demonstrated, the armada of speakers is just around the corner. In the same video, I want to discuss with you what the faction camera will do now. As we remember, in the 77th episode, we first saw the representatives of the new armada of men 3.0, and in the same episode, it was almost completely destroyed and miraculously saved by the representatives of the TV faction. And at this point in time, the situation on the part of ordinary representatives of the faction camera is quite deplorable. The main force of the faction, the Titan Cameraman, is most likely destroyed. Any attempts to restore the most valuable war of Plunge Man turn into failure. A traitor is discovered inside the Alliance, who secretly collaborated with a certain secret agent. Astro Toilets step-by-step destroy every base of the Alliance. A new and victorious armada camera of men 3.0 was badly damaged, and every day more and more wounded men fill the repair centers. And this we do not take into account the facts in which the Titan TV man was subordinated to the Astro Toilets, and one of the 4 TV men bases was completely disintegrated. And in such a situation, the morale inside the faction camera will surely sink to the very bottom. But what can you expect inside the Alliance? First, the fact that the main armada of cameramen has been defeated does not mean that all members of Cameraman 3.0 were destroyed, and in subsequent episodes we will definitely see them again, but not in such battalions. So far, full production for Cameraman 3.0 is not established, because in the additional scene for the 70th episode, we could already see representatives of the first version of the Cameramen, so there will be relatively few of them. Also in the future, with a 90% probability of expecting an unexpected attack by Astro Toilets on the main base of the Cameramen in Australia. There are 2 logical reasons for this. First, the database is too open and it will not be difficult to find it. Secondly, back in the distant 50th episode, the skibidi attempted to attack the main base of the Cameramen, and since at that time the skibidi scientist was still cooperating with the Astro Toilets, it can be assumed that they were provided with the coordinates of the main base of the Cameramen. Most likely, the attack on the main base of the Cameramen will just happen in the 78th episode, which is logical, because the main base of the TV men was destroyed and left for later. The destruction of the main base of the Cameramen, having its coordinates with them, is a rather stupid decision. But I think this attack will not be a success for the Astro Toilets, because by that time the faction camera will already be located at the base by the G Squad, who will be obliged to take part in the defense of the main base, the faction camera, and also let's not forget about the representatives of TV Men 2.0 who were not injured. Well, since MrBoom has already confirmed the information about the appearance of representatives, the speaker of the Armada, and taking into account the fact that in the spoilers for the 78th episode, the action takes place on the main base of the Cameramen, then with a probability of 40% such a plot can happen. We observe the events inside the main base of the Cameramen. We will witness the interaction of the G Squad with the representatives of the camera faction, after which everyone will receive a message about the complete destruction of one of the 4 main bases of TV men. This will lead to a decrease in morale inside the already desperate representatives of the Cameramen. The sadness will not last long because the alarm for the attack of Astro Toilets is activated. The base's still active military forces will be on standby, and the base will be attacked by Astro Toilets. Representatives of the G Squad will immediately join the defense of the base, and in a minute representatives of the TV faction. Together with difficulty, Luckily, they managed to repel the first attack. But the silence will not last long, because the Astro carrier will arrive at the main base of the men's camera, releasing a squad of Astro fighters. It will seem that the base of the faction camera is doomed to total destruction. But by this time, the faction camera will come to the rescue. The armada of the speaker men will arrive immediately along with the Titan Speaker Man 3.0. Due to ultrasound technologies, they will easily be able to cope with the subsequent waves of Astro toilets, and the improved Titan Speaker Man will deal with the Astro transporter with an 80% chance that he will be able to destroy it, and this will be the first major victory of the Alliance over the Astro toilets, thereby obtaining a sample with new technologies. I must note right away that Astro Juggernaut will not appear in the episode because he was sent for improvement, and no matter how sad it is, but G-Man will also not appear in this confrontation because he needs to hide from the Astro fleet. Most likely, we will see G-Man as early as the 80th episode, along with the same secret gun. We can generally forget about the Titan TV Man. Not in one of the episodes of the upcoming 26th season. We will not see, except in one of the additional scenes for this season. The reason is simple. All this time, he will be on modification. Also, the episode itself will be divided into 2 parts. And in an additional scene, to the full 78th episode, we are announced a new camera of Man Titan with Astro Toilet technology. Not an improved camera of titanium, but a new one. As we understood, all representatives of the Alliance consider the Titan's camera to be dead, and for good reason. Communication with him was completely lost, and given the fact that even the Astro Toilets are unaware of what happened to their squad and the Titan's faction camera, the men's cameras do not have its coordinates. But the cameramen need to continue fighting against the Astro toilets, and for this, they need a new Titan. Yes, you can say that this is a delusional theory, arguing that with MrBoom's answer in the negative to the question of why the Alliance does not create new Titans. But in the question itself, MrBoom said that the Alliance could create Titanic robots. They just wouldn't be the same Titans anymore. Most likely, the camera faction will create something similar in idea to the Jaeger from the Pacific Rim. That is, the robot itself will not have a mind with it. It will just be a combat toy that will be controlled by ordinary representatives of the faction camera. I also suggest discussing with you what will happen in the 79th episode. You will be surprised, but MrBoom has already managed to share with us information about this episode. It is not much, but it is quite valuable, and due to it, we can already guess what this episode will be about. Quite a long time ago, on August 18th, one Russian-speaking YouTuber asked MrBoom a question. What was the dialogue between the Astro UFO and the fake G-Man about in episode 60? Episode 79 will reveal something that will reveal a lot of information. Most likely, the 79th episode will take place on the new base of the TV faction. We will watch the episode on behalf of the Energy TV Man. It will show the continuation of the events after the first major victory of the Alliance over the Astro toilets. The squad will teleport back to their own base, where they will be met by the TV scientist, along with the former scientist of the Alpha Hills laboratory, and the skibidi negotiator from the additional scene for the 25th season. The first negotiations between the Alliance and the skibidi toilets will take place before our eyes, in which the skibidi negotiator will detail the history of the entire skibidi toilet race, from the background of the entire Astro fleet to information about recent events such as the terrorist attack on the fake G-Man. Also, from a former employee of the Alpha Hills laboratory, we learn quite a lot of new interesting information around this mysterious building and the secret agent personally. Also, with a probability of 70% at the end of the series, we will be shown a rather interesting scene, how it will turn out to be during the negotiations. We watched from the tablet on behalf of the military camera of the man from the 69th episode. We will be shown how the Alliance privatized the entire complex of Alpha Hills. Because the laboratory was not destroyed, but only cleared from skibidi toilets, all the cells of Mina 2.0 will be sent specifically to protect this complex. But at the very end of the episode, we will be shown the attack of Astro toilets on the laboratory, and along with an improved Watchman of Doom, Juggernaut, and Astro Scorpion. The end of this episode will be the announcement of the last episode in Season 26, Episode 80. MrBoom also shared information about him, but in the way of that this episode will be on fire. From the answers to the questions, we can confidently say that MrBoom has quite ambitious plans for this episode, and most likely, it will be the final battle between the Astro toilets and the united alliance between the Alliance and the Skibidi toilets. The outcome of this fight is even theoretically impossible to predict, but it is safe to say that a new arc of the series will begin with it, most likely already dedicated to the secret agent. Also, in the additional scenes for the full version of the 25th season, we will be shown the events of the attack of the Astro toilets on the main base, the faction camera already on behalf of Lucky Cameraman. During the entire combat situation, there will simply be no one to follow him, and other special agents of the secret agent will come to his aid. And that's the end of it. Thank you all for watching to the end. If you want more content like this, please like it. Stay tuned.